Let's go, let's go. On the hop, fellas, on the hop. Who wants it? Let's see some hustle out there today. Got a big game this week. Come on.
That! Blue 30! Black is on! That! Black 20! That! Black 80! Black is on! That! Black 20! Blue 37! That! Black 30! Black 20! That! Black 80! Black 20! Ready? Black 5! Black 8! Here we go, here we go! White 80! White 86! That! Black 20! Black 20!
Hey, big fella, swing over here. Let's talk. We've been talking about you getting better
That!
every week.
White 80!
You know what? Today
Black
you
is
got
on!
better. Let's keep it up.
That! White 80! That! All right, now, blue 30. Black I said. That! Black 80! Blue 30.
This one is for gold.
Black 20.
All right, man. Bring it in tight. Bring it in tight. All right, let me tell you something. Today was great. You guys went out there.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Go.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Black 20.
Hey, watch the slant.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is taken in at the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ryan Switzer, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. And
he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. On 1st and 10, Darnold nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Anunwa's got it, complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Switzer on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Hard to believe, but the regular season starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receiver's eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Past the 20, and he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Boswell for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
55,
Now Darnold. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Roethlisberger dancing to his left. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with counter. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Roethlisberger coming up with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. 3 first-half touchdown passes now for Ben Roethlisberger. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. 3rd down here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This is Bell, and he's not going to sniff the 1st down here. He stopped at the 25. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And down right around the 37. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Roethlisberger now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And yes, complete to the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. Next 80.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just...
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Big Ben with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. Ben to throw again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Well, that's true. You've said that before. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it?
They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Quinnen Williams able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
230.
Game situation. Let's go.
They'll run on 1st down. Connor. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. James Conner, his 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. They've done a good job of holding him down in the first half, but he explodes for a big one right there.
Yeah, I've got an image in my head of him being surrounded by a bunch of people, really, with ropes and other things trying to keep him locked in. But eventually they got tired too. And just as you noted, he broke out.
And it's a guy that usually you can only keep down for so long. Now Roethlisberger, and they don't get it. They tried for the 2-point conversion there, but unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, But going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Switzer. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Roethlisberger. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Able to find Switzer. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go,
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Darnold toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That's complete. It's Bell.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop. From the 41, Roethlisberger.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
27 yards there, a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down and 4, Roethlisberger. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
impressed,
Yeah,
aren't you?
I am impressed. That means
you.
2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone says about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now, to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. To throw is Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes us 2nd and 9. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. 3rd and long, it's Darnold. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
It's caught by Bryant. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go. Black 20.
3 at the mic. Check. He's crashing.
Check 16. Black again.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
General West. Check.
Bang, bang. Check.
Roethlisberger gonna throw it. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Jam. Deuce.
Pilot 64. Weak. Black again.
Roethlisberger will throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
It's our time, guys. It's our time.
One last throw now for Darnold. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Steelers, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to
Fellas, we've got to have a great practice today. There's no other option. We've got 17 weeks. We strap it up and we...
All right, now. Wide 80. Black, what's that? That! Black 20! Black, what's that? That! White 80! Black, it's that! That! White 80! White 80, that! That! Blue 30! Black, what's that? That! Black 80! Black, it's that! That! Blue 30! Set it! Ready? Black 20! Black, it's that! Here we go, here we go! Black 80! Blue 30!
Hey, you know what, men? That was pretty dang good. And you know what's really scary?
That!
It gets
Black
me even
20!
more
Black
excited.
20!
We're only scratching the surface of our potential. This team has so much talent. So just keep pushing, and we're gonna get to that next level.
Black 30! Black, what's that? That! Black 80! Black, it's that! All right, now. Black, white, it's that! That! White 80! Black, what's that?
Hey, you know what, men? That was pretty dang good. And you know what's really scary?
Give me some Ingram. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Raven team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in at 15-0. Nothing on the scoreboard, 0-0 as the offense gets ready to take over the football.
Black 20.
Here we go.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The numbers there for Conner in last week's game. 11 carries, 107 yards, and the touchdown.
Are we playing old school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger's had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 and win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, and now off to the races down the right side and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ryan Switzer with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against this defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this number 1 defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, but it'll be 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will get it at their own 20-yard line. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 20. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. Bryant has him. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 26.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. On 1st down, it's Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead, all right? There's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The team.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one It winds up getting picked off.
Black 30. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Black is in.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Meanwhile, here's a shot for the end zone right away, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Step, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ben Roethlisberger with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken very short. And a big-time mess on the return. He's out of bounds. He won't even get this back to the 5-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And they'll get him down up past the 15. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Here's a 4-receiver look now. 3 of those guys out to the right side on 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Jackson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Stephon Tuitt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. So we've come upon halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Connor on 1st down, not going to get a whole lot. Maybe a couple. 2nd down coming up. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. But now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 32 on the play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Jackson from the shotgun. He dumps it down to Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On the counter, Ingram. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Dez Bryant hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2.
Watch the safety creep.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. They add on more. A little salt in the wound. 2-point conversion makes this lead even bigger. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
22 yards there, a 1st down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They run the counter. Ingram. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Back now in Baltimore. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now Jackson on 3rd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Bud Dupree make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A great return there of 22 yards. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Roethlisberger. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's see what you got.
To throw is Jackson. To throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. To throw again is Jackson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. To throw is Jackson, and that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he? And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there. You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
6-6, bullet high.
Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 25-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Roethlisberger now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That is going to be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The tackle occurred in the end zone. Result of the play is a safety.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at about the 14. On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Andy Dalton, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams.
It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory.
Like 20.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they dropped their 7th game on the year. And it will be a disappointing finish to the regular season, no doubt. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, gentlemen, we made way too many mistakes this week, okay? The coaching staff has gone in. We've simplified the game plan. Let's go out here and execute. Hey, we got to execute to win.
That! Black 80! Black, what's that? All right, now. Black 20, black, is that? That! Black 30! White, is that? That! Black 80! Black, what's that? That! Black 5! Black, is that? That! White 80! Set up! That! Black 20! Black, is that? That! White 80! Blue, search that! Ready? White, black, what's that? Here we go, here we go! Blue 30! Black, what's that?